All right, guys. I'll just make a real quick video. So I managed to watch the vice presidential debate with Senator Kamala Harris. Then you have Vice President Mike Pence, and they talked about a variety of things. I mean, starting with that virus that's been going on, this global pandemic, as we trying to recover. I like how Senator Kamala Harris was discussing, like, in the perspective of the everyday working class, what they were suffering. A lot of jobs were destroyed, and a lot of people, manufacturing jobs, people was laid off. But the only good thing is, I say that came from that, is that if you were still looking for employment, I mean, I know like places in Michigan, they hiring machine operators, they're hiring like anybody, management, little to no experience. I mean, so if you really want to go out here and hustle, you can do that. And I think it did create a lot of opportunity for people to work from home. The thing is, kids had to do virtual classes. I did do like 2 classes virtually, and like, well, I'm sorry, like 2 days in the classroom and other days virtual. But I mean, it's really a dramatic shift. But I think it's 200,000 people died in this country due to the virus, man, and over like 7 million cases, and it's still continuously growing. Mike Pence, on the other hand, was talking about the same thing as well. But we're gonna try to move on from it, and the Trump administration. It was just like a little, back and forth with the facts on there too. Just stating that, okay, back in January 28th, Kamala Harris said that you guys knew about this and you didn't warn the American people till March 13th when it got out of hand. It was reaching its peak. If we would have known by then, we wouldn't be in this. We would at least eliminate some of these deaths here. But and then she was, Mike Pence defending himself, saying, was like, well, okay, well, in the administration, we was only able to, release and get information, go to China to see what was really going on before we actually start releasing stuff in the public. But it's a really a touchy subject, man. Just hearing people, just getting killed by this, man, especially with people with upper respiratory infections. It's a lot. It's a huge thing, man. Talked about the, Comey Barrett, the Supreme Court decision. Then I think they discussed too, the Breonna Taylor situation. I was like for Pence a little bit until I just think that he didn't successfully, just really talk about and explain the details of the case too much. I mean, I know they got like 2 minutes to talk about these certain topics, man, but it felt like, he was kind of defending the police actions or anything with the whole search warrant, the legal search warrant with the Breonna Taylor case. And, that's a very sensitive thing, subject by the black community. But the whole George Floyd, yes, no person supposed to be, losing their life. That was sad. I'm surprised that he didn't bring up Derek Chauvin, who was the one who kneeled on George Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and he just recently was released from $1 million bond. Now, going back to what Kamala Harris said, this is kind of intrigued me when she stated that she talked about the Trump tax plan, 1%. Then she ended up talking about that we're going to work on if a families that make less than $125,000 a year, they will have the ability to go to a public 4-year university for free. And I'm looking like, okay. And then, with the whole, the Health Affordable Care Act, they talking about that Obamacare, how successful it was when Joe Biden was in. But yeah, the good thing is, it's like, yeah, I mean, because I used to work at a hospital, so people were doing around the time in the winter, people were going in and achieving, trying to get getting approved to get Obamacare, so they can pay for the medical expenses. But in the long run, you have to pay for that in taxes, and so therefore you don't have a lot of money set aside to pay for taxes. You're gonna get less money in taxes, and you have to pay that like $600-700, and then you're like, dang, like, I mean, I don't have too much medical expenses, but I'm getting less in taxes. So, I mean, therefore, it can kind of, destroy a family financially on that. That's the bad part of it, man, because of the Obamacare. But, I mean, as military personnel, we have TRICARE. But I just look at it, too, man. She was talking about the Trump tax 1% is only for the tax cuts for the rich. And they only wanted to discuss that Donald Trump only paid $750 in taxes, even though he owed like $400 million. I don't know how credible that is. But it's crazy, man. It's a lot of things. But going back to the Taylor situation, man, I don't know if you really read the case when Mike Pence did. I'm not trying to choose sides or anything, but that was just a crazy thing, man. That was just a woman. Yeah, she maybe was affiliated with the young man that was already in police custody, but I mean, she got, she shot, she died, and the thing is that, those 2 officers should at least be charged for second-degree murder for what they done, but that's just all here and there, man. I think they really discussed, too, we was going to move forward with the Green New Deal. Now, I did a little bit of research of the Green New Deal. That's pretty much just a way of climate control and supposed to eliminate like greenhouse gas emissions. Now, like Pence was like, I kind of agree with him on this part with the Green New Deal that is very costly to the American economy. It's going to cost at least approximately about $100 trillion, according to President Trump. And then on top of that, too, it's going to lay off a lot of jobs because we do rely on, gas emissions, rely on, on hydrocarbon, even though fracking, this is the pretty much ejection of liquid into hydrocarbon. It's going to be very harmful. But in a way, though, I mean, many people are getting employed doing that. I mean, we don't have enough. I don't think it's feasible for enough to have a whole bunch of electrical stations to get to electrical cars like that. Like, we need to preserve the oil and little things like that. I mean, even the Green New Deal, I don't know. That's just a little iffy on that. I don't think we should really focus and invest in the American economy with that right now. I mean, I just like it how it is in this particular moment right now. But, it's just here and there. But, and this, for the most part, though, since the debate, it was very professional compared to the last debate with the presidential debate with President Donald Trump and presidential candidate, former Senator Joe Biden. And they actually was talking about real issues. I just wish they would have a little bit more, but it go an hour and 30 minutes long. But it's okay, man. I mean, both candidates, man, you gotta give it up to them. They was very articulate, especially Michael Pence, going towards the end of the debate, man. It's just really discussing about Kamala Harris' track record, when she was prosecutor in San Francisco and all these things, man. So talking about she was gonna raise taxes, man. I mean, Joe Biden said that too. So we don't want that as an American people, man. But this is gonna be an interesting election, man. Because I was still very indifferent. So I think I know who I'm going to decide. Of course, I'm not gonna tell you guys for his reasons, man. But go out here and vote. I'm gonna make a decision. I think and true in my heart who I think is gonna win this election and who I'm gonna vote for. But but just go in here, man, just let God lead you. This is your American right. Don't let anyone persuade you to saying that you shouldn't vote. Try your best, especially if you have the right to. As an African American perspective, I mean, it was very hard for us to actually have a voice in government, man. Especially in 1960, you got to take the literacy test, the grandfather clause, taxes that you had to pay. That was that eliminated a lot of working class citizens. They couldn't pay, just to have the opportunity to vote. So, take this time to go ahead and, vote, man. Just see, at the end of the day, man, because, this is your right. And this is for another video. I do believe that you will have more of a saying when it comes to, voting, when it comes to more of a, the senators and your local elections. But, the presidential election, yes, we go by the electoral college. But, some states actually do go by the popular vote, in the same way. So you got to kind of get that too. So you do matter. You do matter. So, that's all I really have to say on that. But the vice presidential debate, it was cool. It was good. I don't know if we're going to have a second presidential debate. I don't know if President Donald Trump, because he was recovering from the coronavirus. Like, you got me like 34 people infected in the White House and all these things. So we'll see, man. But that's all we have to say, man. You guys can like, comment, subscribe, and share. I think Senator Kamala Harris and Mike Pence did a wonderful job explaining and articulating themselves about these various issues. So hopefully we can move forward in this country within 4 years and beyond. I'm out. Deuces.